What's up, guys? So today I want to talk to you guys about storage and what I use personally for my storage device. If you don't know me, my name's Jennifer. I'm a photographer in South Carolina, but I travel everywhere. So anyway, basically I want to talk about storage because it's so important that we protect our clients' files and that we protect our work. If we lose something, then we are held liable for those photos. Not to mention the outcry on social media that can happen, the backlash. So basically, we really need to protect ourselves. And personally, I would feel horrible if I lost a client's work. So my old system was a very, very rigorous backup system before I got my NAS. Is basically I would back up to, so this is if you do not have the money to spend on a storage system. You could do a dual backup system like I did, where I would get 2 external hard drives. I would come home, back up to one, and immediately back up to the other. So what I do now is I bought a Drobo, and no, this video is not sponsored by Drobo. I was thinking G Technology. There's a lot of amazing brands out there, so I actually am not a fanboy of brands. And now if something breaks, like I've used SanDisk before and a SanDisk card had corrupted, I will never use them again. But I'm not here to badmouth them, and I'm not here to praise any other brands. I'm just telling you what I do so that you can get an idea of what you may want to do for your business. So let me tell you first what a NAS is. It's a network attached storage system, which means that when I come in from a shoot, I can go through, plug my cards in, and anywhere in my house that I'm connected to the internet, I don't have to plug a hard drive into my computer. So I can be in the kitchen cooking and, oh, well, let me go ahead and upload these photos from this wedding and just pop them in to the card reader. And then there's a storage that shows, an option that shows up via the internet that is my storage system, and I just drag my photos into the folder that it needs to go in. Now you might think, okay, well that's one backup, so what would happen if something were to happen to that one? Well, with the Drobo system, you basically effectively have like a RAID system, and what this means is you have a chain of storage hard drives. So I basically have 5 hard drives, and all of, like, let's just use one picture. The data goes in between and on all the hard drives. So if one of the hard drives fails, then I bought another hard drive, I could put it in its place. And I also set it to dual redundancy. And what this means is if 2 hard drives fail, then I will still be able to retain my data and put 2 more back in. So I have 5 drives, and if 2 of them, let's say, went out at the same time, I would still be able to retain all of my data. And if another one went out, then stuff's gonna get lost. But that way I can really protect myself. But let's say my house was on fire and my whole system was gone. What would I do then? Well, what my son and I are working on right now is building another system, not exactly a Drobo, but just kind of building one to have offsite at one of my second shooters' houses or my grandmother's house or someone in my family, so that if my house were to burn down and my Drobo was to burn down with it, I would still have my clients' files. This is how important keeping files is, because if you had an issue, this is money you've already been paid for, and this is memories that you promised to capture for somebody and they're gone. What are you going to do? So I think storage is extremely important for everyone. Now, the reason I chose a NAS, a network attached storage system, was because, as many of you know, I have children. I have 18 to 4-year-old, and my 4-year-old, when he's not here, I like to be in my room. I like to be in my office doing my work, but sometimes I might have to cook, so I have to go in the kitchen. And I might need to be in there for a period of time and be like, well, what can I do during this 30 minutes? Oh, I can work. Whereas if I didn't have a NAS system, I would be stuck to a desk working. Because these file sizes are huge these days. You really don't want to store stuff on a laptop, and you really want it to operate as fast as you can. When my son gets home from school, I like to migrate from this room into the living room and sit on the couch. So there's a lot of reasons why I chose a NAS. It just helps me out with flexibility. I was always one of those people in school that could never sit at a desk for very long. I was in the transition period where they went from 50-minute classes to hour-and-a-half classes, and 50 minutes to me was already long enough, and then we were having to sit through hour-and-a-half classes without breaks. I was constantly walking around, I was constantly causing distractions, and it's not like I'm meant to, it's just I cannot be tied to a desk. That's just part of my personality. And so the NAS system allows me the flexibility to basically work wherever I want to within my house and be able to multitask. So do I think that it's good for everyone to have one of these? No. But like I said, this is not for me to recommend stuff for you. This is just for me to tell you how I use it and why I use the things I use. So my process from start to finish, I always use a camera that has 2 card slots, whether it be the D5, D850, D810, whatever. I prefer the newer cameras with the XQD cards because they are less prone to corruption. And basically I have it go from backup raw to raw. So each card slot is going to take the exact same image, because if I have a card corrupt, then I have my raw images on the other card. I've seen other professional photographers recommend RAW and JPEG, and since I have had a card corrupt before, I just don't find that to be as effective as RAW to RAW, because as you all know, it's kind of difficult to edit JPEGs. The data is just not there as in a raw image. So as soon as I get home, I back up, I make a folder in my Drobo on the desktop. So let's say it's a wedding, I say Emily plus Henry, whatever, and make the folder, and then I start to download every single one of my cards, and this is as soon as I get home. Now, if I am off-site at a wedding, if I have traveled for a wedding, I have an actual portable drive by G Technology that's fantastic. It's 500 gigabytes, so that when I get to my hotel room, I can, or even at the end of the wedding, during a reception when I'm supposed to be scheduled to go on home, I'll go ahead and unload all my stuff to that drive to make sure that I have it, because cards can corrupt within an amount of time too. The longer you have data on cards, the longer you give it to corrupt. So I always immediately download every single card as soon as I can, and then I keep one copy of the cards, so one set of cards. So if I used, let's say, 6 cards throughout 3 cameras during a wedding, I take 3 of those cards, since it was a backup, the whole thing and then the backup, whole thing and the backup. I used to take 3 of those cards and I set them aside on my shelf until the images have been delivered to the client via online gallery, or however we've arranged for them to get their images or see their images or whatever. And then of course I have galleries that expire at certain dates, and at that point is when I will erase, or if it's in the contract that I'm going to keep the photographs for a period of 6 months or whatever. I keep my contracts to where where I'm only contractually obligated to keep photos for just a couple months. And the reason I do that is to protect myself. Not that, honestly, I still have weddings from like years ago, but I do that to protect myself. It's not that I think that I'd actually ever lose a wedding, but you never know what could happen. So that's my workflow to prevent accidents from happening. And so anyway, if you have any questions, please let me know. I'm not going to make any recommendations on what you should do. I'm just telling you what I do and why I do it. And of course, I'm going to put links in the bottom if you want to purchase the same system I have, and also links to other systems that I think are great that other photographers I know use. So anyway, thanks for watching, guys. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do it now and click the bell for notifications, because I'm supposed to say that. So thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.